Some of the most remarkable people in this world don't appear on movie screens or in sports arenas. They work in offices, study in classrooms, and raise families at home. They're just ordinary people like you and I. Ordinary people who happen to have experienced something extraordinary and survived. Off the Map is a travel television series I directed and shot over a 12-year period. Unlike most explorer stories, these modern travelers are women. Ordinary women who agreed to be filmed taking journeys to extraordinary places. On the Ethiopia program, I was joined by my female host, Maureen. Our intention was to travel from Addis Ababa, the capital of Ethiopia, to the Omo River in the southwestern part of the country. The trip started off on a bad note. My camera broke down. Where in Addis could I find a technician to fix a professional television camera? Fortunately, I found someone, and the camera was up and running in a couple of days.
I landed in Addis Ababa, the capital city of Ethiopia. The city is sprawling. It's poor. It is a complete culture shock for the North American, with markets and open stalls in the street, and there's open sewers which lend a decided aroma that we're not used to. Dust, everything's slightly dirty, everything's very real. Manic drivers. If there's 3 lanes in the road, there'll be 6 lanes of drivers all trying to change at one time. After exploring Addis Ababa, I rented a Jeep and a guide to take me into the countryside. I was lucky to find Magaru, a very special person who took great delight in showing tourists the wonders of his country. But then I found out that actually once you get down there, there's really no food to be found, and so you should actually probably take a cook too. That's how I met Kevita. When we left Addis, our first stop was a little town called Soto, perched high on the edge of a mountain looking down into a valley with a beautiful lake beyond it. Ethiopia is the poorest country in Africa, and that poverty is prevalent everywhere. The conditions that people live in and the behavior those conditions evoke can be quite sad.
But I do have, let me see, what do I have in this bag? Let me see. Oh.
They would grab the balloons out of my hand. They were ripping them to shreds. And it's unfortunate. It's heartbreaking. Just as we're getting ready to head out, there is ping pong tables set up all over the town square. They decided to challenge me to a game, and we had quite the tournament.
As you can see, Maureen is a natural actress, able to adapt to any situation.
In the end, I think it was Ethiopia 425, Canada 2. Next, we climbed back into the 4-wheel drive, me, the cook, and Magaru. I was curious about Magaru. His life as a guide seemed fascinating.
The chemistry between the two was quite obvious.
I wanted to see the beehive-shaped huts built by the Dorze people, and there I met a young boy named Masai.
Maureen had a natural chemistry with children as well.
Good house, that's good.
All of bamboo.
Yeah, that's
They keep the rain off?
Yes.
Oh, you're going to take me in here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, a little bamboo door. Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, look. Oh,
Yeah,
isn't
post
it
banana.
beautiful?
Yeah, that's
oh
good.
My gosh. How many people live in one house? Do you know?
There's 7 and 8.
7 and 8 in one house, all
Yeah.
family.
Yes.
Okay.
This one, the family.
Oh, look at this. Go over here.
This is a good.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
Oh, Masai, I have never seen a house beautiful. Can I go up and take a closer look?
Okay.
Oh, okay. Let me see. I like this. I like this up here. What's this?
Shogun.
Shogun.
Yeah.
Oh,
This covering to the bamboo.
does this never have to be replaced?
Yeah.
For how long?
This 50 years old.
50?
Yes, 50.
50?
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, you first. I'm last.
I-
Whoa. Okay. Oh, hey, Masai. It's dark in here. In fact, it was so dark we left to visit the rest of the village. There were women washing clothes on the riverside. There were no washing machines here. Everything was done by hand. We came down from the top of a hill, and I just couldn't believe the masses of people spread out in the valley. Everyone comes out for the market. We went to the Dorze market, which had something like 3,000 people in it. All these people here all of the time?
Yes, that's coming to another country. There's the people. Yes, for the market is starting 6 o'clock. That the finish is 12 o'clock.
12 o'clock
Yeah.
in the morning. Okay.
Maureen had this wonderful ability to communicate with people not knowing the local language.
Salam, Dananish. Dene, what do you have?
Hurry, we say come.
Kama? No. Can you tell me about your pepper? There were a variety of spices and vegetables for sale, but it was also a social occasion, meeting and greeting friends. Is it pepper? It would make me very hot. Will it? Yeah? Maybe salt would be better for me. Very good pepper. I congratulate you on your pepper. No, one is enough. Thank you. It was an experience just to be there. Certainly very different from going to a market back home. We were going to camp overnight in Mago National Park. Although there are a great many animals in Mago, that day it seemed that birds definitely took precedence. On the way, we met a very hungry ostrich. He was not only determined to eat all of the leaves I had to offer, but also my fingers. Thank you. Okay. Woo! Oh, interested, aren't you? Yeah. Excited, I can tell. In Ethiopia, if you want to camp, you need an armed guard. So, that's how I met Bar. He carries an ancient Chinese rifle. He was assigned to protect me from wild animals. I hadn't used my tent before, so I had a bit of trouble with that. Help me put up my tent, please. Oh, thank you. Thank goodness my guide, Margaru, was practical and helped me set my tent up properly. Oh, hey, yellow and blue. It's okay. Yeah. Margaret and I enjoyed relaxing in such a beautiful setting. And when we settled down for the night, as soon as the dusk drew down, the noise from the jungle rose up. For me, the sounds were a bit disconcerting. Lightning seemed quite appropriate to being in Ethiopia. The next day, I asked Magaru to take me to see the Mirsi tribe people. They still live in the traditional nomadic ways, as Ethiopian tribes have done for hundreds of years. Hello. I met a woman who was named Lulum. She looked to be about 70, but she still had a toddler with her.
Filming this tribe presented some difficulties. I allowed members of the tribe to watch the filming, but I asked them politely to not talk. They continued to talk, and as a result, I lost my temper. The guide thought that we should get out of there as soon as possible. The banging of their Kalashnikovs on the side of the four-wheel drive as we left was an indication of how angry they were.
Oh, it doesn't show. It doesn't. Oh, it shows with you. Yeah. Oh, good. What a lovely house. It's for you and your papa and your mama. Yeah. And many children. Yeah. Did you build it yourself? It's all straw with sticks inside. Looks quite cozy. As well, I met a beautiful young man named Urugulu. I asked, what do the Musi people do during the day? So he just took me through a walk through the landscape to show me what their life was like. Oh. Okay, Urugulu, you just keep leading the way for me, thank you. I'll stay a little bit further back from the rifle. Okay. I hope you got bullets in that gun, right, Bod? You got bullets? This is not where their cattle would go, but where they might go to forage for food. Doesn't look like there's much food to be had anyways. Oh, trip. Okay. Boy, I don't know. They tell you to wear skirts so you don't offend the people, but pants would be a lot better. My gosh, I'll be sick. Yeah. Yeah. Can you chew this? Oh, for brushing my teeth. Oh, right. Yeah, one for you too. Oh, you pull it off with your teeth. Oh, okay. Oh, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello. Mr. You're welcome. Before we went further into the bush, Margaru and I decided to stop for a quick drink. He told me about his culture and what it was like to grow up in his country. All part of what made him such a fascinating guide.
It was quite obvious Maureen and the guide were developing a romantic relationship. I hoped that they would stick to the project until it was done.
We needed to leave the bar because we had to find a campsite by nightfall. We traveled even further into the bush, where there were no roads. Nothing but villages of grass huts and people walking along the roadway, people appearing just out of nowhere as the jeep went by. After driving for some time, we were lucky to find a shady place to camp. Once again, Margaru was indispensable in putting up the tent and was certainly very pleasant to have around. Oh, thank you, Maguru. Oh. See you later. The next morning, as I got out of the tent, there was a few villagers starting to drift in to watch the activity. I was obviously the mainstream entertainment for that particular week. And a couple of beautiful young girls came along, about 15. Whoops! No, I know. Frenchie has... The soil in this part of the country is very, very orangey red. And they'll mix the soil with goat butter and then roll their hair into tight little curls. It's very nice. They also had a metal rod through their lip as a form of adornment. They were a little bit shy. They liked my big skirt. And although their breasts were free, they were shy about having their legs and their loins exposed. They had the body scarring techniques on their torsos, which are part of their tribal rituals. And I think what they do is she scars herself and cuts it, and then I think put ash underneath to make the bumps rise up, I think. The brassiere, I only got one. I don't know where my brassiere is. Yeah, and there's two of you. Or what, are you going to share it? One day, Monday you wear it, Tuesday you wear it. My brassiere is so big you could get both of you in at the same time. I know. And then they were quite intrigued with what my breast would look like. So we had some intimate moments where they took a peek down my blouse to check out what kind of equipment I had. Maguru and I were approaching our final destination, the village of Karo. These people are well known for traditional dances and ceremonies. There were two large trees at the entrance to the village, one with men gathered beneath and the other for women. Again, little children swarming around, everybody touching your hand, everybody feeling the wisps of hair that came out from behind my hat, fascinated in a shy sort of way and not at all aggressive. And the men and the women were dressed in a fair amount of finery and some feathers and a lot of little metal jewelry, and it seemed that they were about to do some sort of a performance. And pretty soon, a couple of ladies, probably in their 60s, grabbed my hand, and there I was, right in the middle of the whole thing. The dancing was not too much of a lifting of the feet, but a whole lot of jumping up and down of the upper body and the Ethiopian aerobics, because wow, those old ladies could go at it a whole lot longer than I could. It's impossible to talk about this country without talking about what it is not. It is not famine and drought and desert. It is tremendous beauty, rugged landscapes, and wherever you go, jagged, ragged mountains surrounding you.
In the end, I loved Ethiopia so much, I decided to stay. I wanted to see more of the country, but I also wanted to further explore the special friendships I had made. I had to let that plane leave without me. And now I'm embarking on a new chapter in my life.
This story continues in Maureen McGee's new book, Jumping the Bull.